Hola Capricorn. Here is your mid-month reading for September 2018. Keep in mind this is a general reading. If it resonates, consider a personal reading. My rates and info are below, along with my email. So you can always shoot me an email and get a personal reading of your own, which will resonate even more. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so that means the general mid-month. So it can be about love, family, friends, finance, business, or career. Things to mention, my 2018 Sun Moon readings are up in my playlist, so go look up your Sun Moon sign, check out your behavioral traits in addition to your prediction for 2018. Doesn't matter what time of year you see it, when you see it is when you're meant to view it. I've also just started working a little bit on my compatibility readings. Those are in my playlist. I think I put up a few today. I'm also on the Instant Go app, so if you download the Instant Go app and you look for Veronica Garnett, you can get me to answer a quick answer to a quick question. One question only, text only, no phone or video chat. Otherwise, let's get to your reading. Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, your insight in regards to Capricorn for period of September 15th to September 30th. Can you please show us prior energies before they moved into this period? Can you please show me what energies await them the last 2 weeks of September? And then finally, how will they be moving forward from September into October? Please grant me the objectivity to read these cards as they're intended to be read and say your messages as you intend to be said for Capricorns for the last 2 weeks of September. Okay. Holy Spirit angels, can you please show me prior energies for Capricorn prior to September 15th? We have the Judgment card in reversed. Can you please show me energies that they can expect the last 2 weeks of September? We have the Hermit card in reversed. And then finally, moving forward from September to October, we have the Strength card in reversed. Okay, so we have the Judgment card in reverse. The Judgment card in reverse is about not really learning from the mistakes that were kind of there for you, okay, and not assessing yourself and not realizing how you should have done things differently. Sometimes it can be a matter of just total denial and being like, you know, there's nothing wrong, everything's fine, there's nothing wrong with me. It can be you had an incorrect decision in regards to judgment, so you might be having regrets in something that you did. But it really is about, you know, not coming to a conclusion, denial, could be avoidance, and not looking at a situation and coming to a conclusion, you know, the conclusion that you should come about. I don't know why that was so freaking hard to say, but it was. So here we go into September. Now, this is the card of Virgo for the Hermit. Hermit card, when he's in reversed, he can cut himself off from people, okay? If it's in the upright, it's kind of like going off on your mountain. Yeah, I'm going to figure out some stuff about myself, my personal truth, whatever I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah. In the reverse, it's kind of like him withdrawing a little bit and not using the time wisely to, you know, reflect or, and again, it can be a card of avoidance. You're just cutting yourself off from people because you don't want anybody around you. The Hermit card in the reverse can also reflect loneliness. So it can be, you know, being very alone. And another thing it can be is repeating past mistakes. So I'm getting a feeling over here, you guys didn't learn the lessons that you should have. And then here in September, the last 2 weeks of September, you're learning that you are making same mistakes that you have made before. Okay. But we move on here to the Strength card going into October. So this is the card of Leo. I like this Strength card because she's leaning on this pillar, and this pillar is leaning over. It's not a very strong pillar she's kind of leaning on, he or she. It's a she. And with this Strength card, this particular Strength card, I get putting out a facade of strength. I'm fine. Everything's okay. It's going to be okay. Like a fake it till you make it kind of deal. But inside, you know, you're crumbling, or inside you're unstable, or inside you're about to topple over. So I always feel like with this card, you're putting forth the facade of being very strong. But that's not the case. And it might be because of what you kind of went through here. So Let's see what's going on. And this is going to apply to whatever situation is going to apply to for you. Can you please provide clarification on the Judgment card in reverse? Why is the Judgment card in reverse for Capricorns? Who is this person? What is this energy? Why did you choose the Judgment card in reverse for Capricorn energies prior to September? Last 2 weeks of September. Okay, we have the Six of Cups. So this was somebody from your past. This is something that you did in your past. But I'm thinking it is somebody from your past. Maybe you tried to reconcile with them. Yeah, it is turning into a love reading. So you tried to reconcile with them. And maybe you weren't thinking at the time. Maybe you were hoping for the best. Again, an error in judgment. Maybe you were denying red flags that were there. Maybe you were thinking things would be different this time around. But this, whatever that is, I know what it is. It's the One of Wands. This thing, it never got off the ground, so it didn't end up being what you wanted it to be, or there were delays to this, or, you know, it was lacking energy. It was a false start. The other person might have rejected you at some point. So, you know, I feel like for some of you, you got back into something you shouldn't have gotten into, and then you learned your lesson as a result of that, or you're refusing to learn. Yeah. So this is the Hierophant in reverse. And here it was a Hierophant and the Hierophant. And it's in reverse. So you felt like if you got back together with this person, there was potential for it to become something more. I'm trying to think if I can go in another direction other than a love reading on this, but I'm not getting that. But you thought it was going to be something more. You thought this time you guys would commit. Maybe you could do things differently. You know, maybe you get married, but that's not the case. That didn't end up being the case. The Hierophant reverse is actually kind of going against the tradition of that, going against anything that's traditional or anything that's like a commitment is what I kind of get. So that's what went on prior to September, last 2 weeks of September. Can you please provide clarification here on the Hermit card? Why is the Hermit card here? Who is this person? What is this energy? So this is why you could be feeling very lonely, because this person wasn't on the same page as you. You had expectations. You thought it happened, and it didn't happen. I don't feel like this person necessarily had the same viewpoint that you did in regards to reconciliation or moving forward. Forward. If it's not somebody from the past, it can be somebody from your childhood, or just somebody that you've known for a long time, or somebody that you feel like you know as a childhood friend, and it just didn't work. You know, it didn't kind of get off the ground. So here you are lonely going the last 2 weeks of September. A Hermit card. Can you please provide clarification? A Hermit card in reverse. Yeah. So we have the One of Pentacles. So another start that you thought was going to, and you were actually anticipating it. You were hoping for it. You were really thinking this was a grand opportunity that was coming around. You know, this is it. And as a result, it didn't happen. King of Pentacles, I feel like that's you. Go back to your money. For some of you also, this could be a financial situation where you expected an amount of money to come in, or you're expecting an amount of money to come in the last 2 weeks of September, and it doesn't end up happening. So with this King of Pentacles here, you're concentrating on your finances, trying to build up your wealth and create a financial windfall for yourself so that you can be stable. And the Two of Swords in reverse, which is about trying to determine what you're going to do, knowing that there's going to be negative. With the Two of Swords, sometimes I get damned if I do, damned if I don't sort of thing. I feel like it's two choices, and it might be negative consequences either way that you go. And there's so much information coming in, you just can't filter things properly. You're actually overwhelmed in regards to what to decide. But knowing that there's going to be consequences. A lot of confusion, mental confusion too. Maybe you're stuck in the middle. You might be, if we're reverting back to this, you know, relationship scenario where you were alone. You know, I'm getting from that King of Pentacles that you're saying to yourself, the only person you can count on is yourself. I seriously feel like, I'm getting from that King of Pentacles, here we go again. I should have known. I can only count on myself and my money. That's pretty much what I was getting. And no matter which way you went on this road, you were going to be disappointed. It was going to end up negatively. So it was half a dozen of one. What is it? 6 of one and half a dozen of another. No matter which way you'd chosen, it would have had an end result. It would have just had it in a different way. I feel like for some of you, your minds are really spinning in overtime. You need to slow your minds down. I don't know why I'm getting that. I don't know if you're feeling like you can have better control over this situation if you overthink it, but I think you guys are definitely overthinking. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on with this Strength card. Can you please provide clarification on the Strength card as Capricorns move forward into October? Why is the Strength card here? Who is this person? What is this energy? Why is the Strength card here for Capricorns as they move into October? Personality. So Knave of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, I think something's not happening for you in the finance department, but you come back from it, I feel like. If you do lose something, I feel like you come back from it. This Page of Pentacles is a real immature energy when it comes to, well, he's a short-term kind of person, so that could be referencing this person that you were with. They really weren't with it to put any goals down. I mean, yeah, any long-term goals or anything long-term with you. They were just in it for short-term, and actually for short-term pleasure. So they might have just been in it to spend a little time with you so they could feel good about themselves. They might have felt a little bit entitled to, like, oh, I deserve this. I deserve to be treated like this. The Tower card here is in reverse. Not wanting this to change, fear of change. Knowing it needs to be done. Knowing this needs to be done, but not wanting it to be done. But you're trying to stay strong. You don't want this person to know how weakened you are inside from this. So you are going to move on from whatever this situation is, a Death card. You are going to, and the Death card's a card of Scorpio, for those of you if that resonates, you're going to make the realization that there was nothing here. You couldn't have breathed life into this. And really, it's just about letting it die. And even though you might be dying inside, it still needs to be, you're not going to let anybody know. You're just going to move ahead. You're going to have a rebirth, a renewal. You're going to keep it moving forward. You're absolutely going to let go. You are absolutely going to let go of this because this is a big change. This is a big ending, but it's necessary. And you know that. But I really like how you're really putting yourself out really proud. You're not going to let this person or anybody else know how this is affecting you. And for some of you, you might do what you usually do. Turn to your work, build your assets. For some of you, you might be getting a double whammy. I hate to tell you that, but you might be getting a double whammy in the emotional department and the finance department. But with the Tower card, this is just inevitable. And again, you just know it was necessary. It absolutely had to happen. This could not continue on the way that it was continuing on. This person was not going to change their mind. They weren't going to be changing in general. You might have thought they were back here, but then you're seeing as you go through it, that's just not their deal. And King of Pentacles, I feel, is a very singular energy. Like I do. I feel like I can only count on myself and my status and my worth, and and that's where you get your strength from here, because you can stand alone. It isn't always easy to do that, but you can. So all right, sorry, I wish I had a better reading for you guys. Anyways, if this is something you're going through and it resonates, consider a personal reading. My rates and info are below. In addition to my email, just shoot me an email, we can make that happen. Other things to mention in my playlist, check out my 2018